Hi there, this is Dr. Embody. Welcome to CSE 231, Introduction to Programming Using Python. What's this course about? Well, this course is about problem solving. And you might go, whoa, I thought it was programming. Well, it's really problem solving using a computer, which is programming. The goal of this course is that at the end, we hope that if you're presented with a problem, you go, hey, I can write a program to solve that. Important thing, we assume that you have never programmed before. About 3/4 of the class never have. So we're starting from scratch, and by the end of the semester, we have to turn you into programmers. This course is taught by two of us, Dr. Zabar and myself. It is based on a book written by Dr. Punch and myself, and a set of videos that we created. This course has been designed to be a hybrid course for many semesters and has been run as completely online in the summers for a number of summers. So this is not something that has been created just for COVID. There are some changes that we've had to make because we couldn't be hybrid, and our labs 1 through 25 will be synchronous. Now, the concept behind this course is that we have a text, and we expect you to read that text, and then we have some videos that supplement the text. They are not a replacement for the text; they are a supplement for the text. So every week you'll have a chapter to read and some videos to watch, and then some practice. Now let's take a look at what I mean by that. So here's the week that I was telling you about, the components. So you read a chapter, you watch a video. We have these things we call chapter exercises. They're in an online site that is called Mirror. I'll talk about that more later on. Then you have a lab exercise to do. That will, for sections 1 through 25, that will be done synchronously. So there's a particular time you'll have a TA associated with that. Students in the online section 730 do it asynchronously. That is, they can do the lab, at any time they're doing anytime they choose, as long as they hand it in on time. And then we have a programming project. And that's weekly. There are 3 exams, 2 midterms and a final. And of course, there's a bunch of details in the syllabus. Let me bring up that page. So if you go to this page that I outline here, www.cse.msu.edu /CSE 231, you land on this page. It's got pictures of Dr. Zobar and myself. Most importantly, there is Start Here. Good place to start. If you do that, it gives an overview of many of the things that we're talking about here. Again, there is that read a chapter in the text, watch some videos, do some online exercises, which notably are done collaboratively. And then you'll do a lab synchronously for most of you. And there is a pre-lab exercise. So not surprisingly, you have to do that before your lab. Again, this is done collaboratively. In fact, we will force you to do it collaboratively in the labs. You'll be assigned a partner to work with, and you'll do the lab exercise that way. And then every week there's a programming project, and very important, you must do that on your own, not collaboratively. See the difference? Collaboratively, not collaboratively. Okay, so watch out for that. One thing to keep in mind is that an online course does require a different personal discipline. And you're going to become intimately familiar with that since the whole semester is on that way. As I mentioned, sections 1 through 25 have a synchronous lab. There is a time you have to do it. And the section 730s do it asynchronously. There is a syllabus. You should check that out. Our grading is based on 1,000 points. And that's, so, it's based on, some various things that you have to do. There is a due dates page to keep you organized. And notice how the generic week, you read a chapter, you watch a video, you have a programming project due, you have a lab due, you have some exercises to do, right? But notice here that the lab, those Friday due dates are only applying to section 730. But then next week, boom, we got another chapter to read and more videos to watch and a project due and a lab to do and exercises, and boom, next week we're at it again. And this happens week after week. So we're pretty persistent and relentless in the pace of this course. The programming projects, first one, you'll be able to knock that off in an hour. By the time we get halfway through, you're going to be needing many days to do the project. So watch out for that. They increase in difficulty by a lot. And you will be writing hundreds of lines of code for when you get halfway through this semester. All right, back to grading. So those programming projects that I mentioned make up 45% of the points. The exams, those 3 exams together, and they are not equally weighted, but you can see that in the syllabus. They account for 45% of the grade. And then the chapter exercises, that's these chapter exercises, they account for 10% of the grade. And labs, you'll notice, aren't in there, right? Because those 3 components add up to 100%. So we expect you to do the labs. You're required to do the labs. We have some flexibility. You can miss a couple of them for any reason. But if you miss 3, then we're going to reduce your final grade by 0.5. So if you're going to get a 3.0, you now have a 2.5. You miss a 4th one, you're down to a 2.0. You miss yet another one, you're down to a 1.5. So they don't count as points to your grade, but if you don't do them, we pull out a very big stick and hit your grade very hard. We have a mirror for exercises, and we have a presence on D2L. As many classes do. It has, you will see in there a link to the web pages that I've already mentioned, so you can find them there. And there's also a link to Mimir, although your view of it looks a little different than my view of it as the instructor. But that's where you hand things in. Let's see if I can get back to, there we go. And we also have a link to Piazza, and that's a place where you can ask questions, right? And so there are already some questions there, and many of them have already been answered. So there's a bunch of links there on D2L, but you will use that Mimir for handing in your programming projects and your chapter exercises. Right, and as I mentioned, your access is through D2L. Also, our exams will be done on there. For support, there is a TA. You want to become good friends with your TA, they are there to help you get through this. In fact, I frequently, when I see reviews of the semester, I'll see something like Dr. Embody was a tyrant, but my TA was awesome, and I wouldn't have survived the course without him or her. So there are 2 of us, 2 TAs, and the online help. Plus, there is a help room. All right, and the help room traditionally was done in person, and now it will be done virtually. So there is a lot of support there. In particular, I've mentioned how relentless this course is. Every week builds upon the previous week, unlike some courses where if something happens in a week, then you'll just do the new stuff. No, in programming we build on it, and so if you don't master what's in one week, you're not going to be able to do what's in the next week. So you got to be really careful about slipping behind. And if you start to slip behind, call for help. Talk to your TA. Make an appointment to meet with the instructor. Do something, and do it sooner rather than later. And by slipping, I mean even like in the first week or the second week. Things start slipping, boom, you better do something about it, because you're going to fall behind, and that's it's very hard to catch up, because the way programming naturally builds on itself. Important, I've already mentioned this, collaboration is not allowed on programming projects, and if you do, you get a 0. What are some things you can do? You can download the Python. That'll be part of your Lab 0 to just kind of get used to that. That just sort of forces you to get Python installed and write a one-line program and submit it to Mimir. So I can't emphasize this enough. There's a rhythm to this course where every week you read a chapter, you watch a video, you do some chapter exercises, you do the pre-lab and the lab, and then the programming project, and boom, next week starts up. You got another chapter, another video, a set of exercises, a lab, another weekly programming project, boom, and we're into the next chapter, and you got a new topic, and you got more videos, and you got another chapter. So next week hits up, boom, and we're on, right? So we have to take you from knowing nothing about programming to become a programmer. That's the mandate from the department about this course. The only way to get there is with a lot of programming. You're going to write a lot of code. Couple of tips. Yeah, read the text. There are people who will try to get through this course, as you can do with many courses, without reading the text, and it just doesn't work very well in this course. That's kind of the meat of this course. Fortunately for you, this edition of the textbook has been out for many years. There are many used copies around, so that need not be an onerous financial burden on you. Start programming projects early. As I mentioned, project 1, yeah, you can knock it off in an hour. Once you get into project 3, you can't do that. You're going to need days on your programming projects. One thing we know about problem solving, remember this course is about problem solving, is that if the problem is challenging, and some of these are, you need to be able to put it down and walk away. Right? We know that from problem solving. If you're trying to do it all on the day that it's due on a Monday, and it's a complex project, you don't have that luxury. Get started on it early. In fact, don't think about a project being done on Monday and doing it on Monday, because you can't get any help, because there's 700 other students trying to get help. Think about that you're really going to get projects done on Sunday, so that you can start in on the next project on Monday, and you can start asking some decent questions on Tuesday. You want to get into that mode of operation. In fact, one of the best things you can do is get started on a project before your lab, because guess what? There's a TA in lab, your TA, and you get some help from them. All right, with that, good luck.